Hello there. So today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me featuring some of my long-term favourite makeup products. So these are the products that I frequently mention in videos, the products that I'm constantly reaching for, and the products that I will stockpile. So I'm just going to pop them on and you can see them in action. I always feel like it's so much more helpful to actually like demonstrate a product as opposed to just talk about a product. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what we are doing today. I've also just realised that my socks are on the radiator. Oh, and my bra. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to remove the bra, but I'm going to leave the socks on because I think they look kind of quirky back there. It kind of reminds me of the Wizard of Oz. You know, in the witches, is it her boots are just like there on the ground after did she go into the earth? I don't know what happened to her, but I'm liking the socks being there. But we're going to get rid of the bra. Let's pretend that was not there. Okay. Oh gosh, guys, my hair is definitely going to be doing all kinds of crazy things today. So please do not give it the attention that it craves so badly. Okay, so today we're going to begin with a primer, and my favourite primer is by NIVEA. It's the Daily Essentials 24, no it's not. It's the 20, oh my gosh, like I'm when? Pull yourself together, girlfriend. This is the Daily Essentials 24-Hour Moisture Plus Express Primer. This is a gel, so it's extremely kind of light and hydrating on the skin. So this moisturiser is geared towards people that have dry to normal skin. I have had oily skin forever, but just recently my skin has definitely been transitioning to being more dry. I don't know if that's just because we've had a change in weather, so it's much cooler. Naturally your skin is going to dry out. I'm not sure, but even when my skin was oily, this is a primer that really worked well for me, just to keep my skin feeling hydrated underneath my makeup. I have used a moisturiser this morning as well, but this is kind of my second moisturiser because I'm just extra like that. As you can see, this is a gel. I'm just going to apply a little bit. It does spread out really well, so you only need a tiny bit. You can get this from Superdrug. I don't think Boots actually sell it, and also Amazon as well. Amazon sell it. I would definitely recommend this primer whatever skin type you have, because as I said, it works on my oily skin and it also works now my skin is a bit drier. This primer definitely feels a tiny bit tacky, and I do feel like it helps my base go on nice and smoothly. I wouldn't say it's kind of skin smoothing or pore eliminating or anything like that, but I just really like it because I think it just provides a really kind of comfortable hydrating base for your foundation to sit upon. We've got to make sure the foundation is comfortable at all times. So the foundation that we're going to be using isn't actually a foundation. So this is the Garnier BB cream. I am constantly raving about this, and this is very important. This is the one for oily to combo skin. So this one comes in the thin long tube. I have tried the other one which comes in a kind of smaller tube. Do not like that one, but I love the oily to combo skin one. This is in the shade Light. This is very liquidy, as you can probably can't see because I put it on my finger. Like, why did I do that? I feel like everyone else is so professional. When they do like get ready with me or just like any video, and then I'm just over here just like fecking around. I just feel like I'm so unprofessional. But anyway, so this is the BB cream in Light. It's the perfect shade for me, and I just love everything about this. So I tend to use my fingers to apply because it just goes on really beautifully with the fingers. I didn't want to get it over there. I wanted to show you like half and half. What the feck is my life right now? Okay, so I'm just wiping it, what I put on that side of my face, because I wanted to do like a half and half so that you can see the difference. So yeah, as I said, I just apply with my fingers and I just kind of rub this in. I've been using this BB cream for years. I keep repurchasing it. I will wear this for work and it just holds up super well for, you know, 8+ hours. I will just wear it the weekends. I'll wear it on no makeup days. What is a no makeup day, guys? Are you wearing makeup or are you not wearing makeup? I mean, which one is it? Goes on so easily just because it is such a thin kind of texture. So you could just kind of apply it with your fingers just like that. I just love how easy this product is to use. Like you saw, I don't need to get a brush. I don't need to go wet a sponge. I can just plop it right on with my fingers. I would definitely say this has slightly kind of warmer undertones, whereas I'm more of a cool undertone kind of girl. But like, I don't think anyone notices. Like, I hope not anyway. They probably do. They're probably like, oh my gosh, like Amwen is looking so bad today. She's wearing a warm toned BB cream and she's cool toned. Like, let's just go and fire her right now, like literally. So this side of the face has the BB cream on it and this side does not, and I think you can see quite a marked difference, and you can also definitely see that this side is much more warmer toned. Okay, so there we go. I think this just has the most beautiful, kind of healthy but natural kind of finish. It's a medium coverage. It's not kind of matte. It's not super dewy. I would say that once it dries down, it's just more of like a natural, your skin but better kind of look, which I adore. As I said earlier, it just lasts all day. I know that I can just reach for this, plop it all over my face, and 9-10 hours later it's still gonna look really good. So yeah, this is just a firm favorite of mine. I feel like if someone said to me, Amwen, you can only keep like one foundation / BB cream, this would be the one that I would keep. I recently did try the Skin 79 BB cream, which I loved, but this one definitely has more coverage to it. So next we're going to move on to doing my kind of eye priming / base. So my favorite product for this is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. This is in the shade C1. I've just finished up another tube which was C3 and I definitely preferred that one just because it had pinker undertones. It kind of morphed into my face a bit more naturally, whereas C1 is very light. It's very brightening. Because it's so light, it can make my skin look a little bit dry, and the last place that I want my skin to be dry is on my eyelids. So yeah, so this is in the shade C1. You've probably seen this concealer doing the rounds by now. I don't really use this as like an under eye concealer or use it like anywhere else on my face, just because I do find that it is quite thick. But for me, this is like the perfect kind of consistency and kind of pigmentation wise, what? No idea. This is just like the perfect kind of eye base for me, just because it covers up all my little veins and just creates a blank canvas for my eyeshadow to go on to. So I just kind of apply it like that and I just blend it out like this with my fingers. I do this every single day. Like, I cannot put eyeshadow on without first priming my eyelids, you know what I mean? I think it's so important, particularly if you've got very fair skin and you've got like little like veins and things, like veins. Oh my gosh, I just creeped myself out with that then. But you know, if you've got lots of veins, it just like neutralizes that entire area in preparation for your fabulous blending that's about to happen. So yeah, that is done. Sometimes I set it, sometimes I don't. It just depends really on what eyeshadows I'm going to be using. But today I think I'm just going to leave it as is. As is. I felt like a right knob saying as is. I felt like I was in some kind of, you know, business meeting. Like, yes, Cecilia, we will leave it as is the best action plan going forward. Thank you for that blue sky thinking, Cecilia. Okay, so eyes are done. Next, we're going to move on to under eye concealing. I don't do under eye concealing every single day. I don't know, sometimes I just think, like, what's the point? Like, I can't be arsed today. My very favourite under eye concealer is by Maybelline, and it's the Instant Anti-Age Eraser. This is so good. Like, I love it. I love the little sponge tip at the top. I know that it's quite controversial. Some people love it, some people hate it. But for me, like, I'm only going to be using this on my face. So I don't know, maybe I'm just not very, like, hygiene conscious or anything, but, like, I'm not bothered. I just love it. I love the ease of just being able to go like this, and it feels so good. By the way, like, when I am using this in my daily life, which I don't really use every day, as I said earlier, I don't use this much. Like I said before, I feel like when you're in front of a camera, you just have, like, no control over how much concealer you're putting on. Like, have you noticed, like, everyone just uses so much of this? Like, why am I putting it on my nose? I never put it on my nose. But anyway, I'll just do a big cock on my forehead. Why not? Oh, I've not got a fucking sponge. Damn. Please just entertain yourselves whilst I go off to wet a fucking sponge. I know it's such a first world problem, but I just feel so inconvenienced when I have to go wet a sponge. Do you know what I mean, guys? That was funny. As I was on my treacherous mission to go wet my sponge, I was just thinking to myself, and when this video is going to be so long if you just insist on going off on tangents. And then in my brain I was like, and when you just have to be succinct to the point, just say why you like the product and that's it. Otherwise this is going to take forever to edit. Like, anyway, just like even now taking forever to edit, because I'm telling you of the inner workings of my brain. Yeah, I just blend this out with a wet sponge. By the way, this is one of my favourite sponges. It's the I'm just going over my eye, why not? Yeah, this is the Real Techniques sponge, and I really, really like it. I also love the Juno microfiber sponge that Nikki Tutorials tried, and it just caused so much controversy. But I actually really like that sponge. But I like this one too. Forget Beauty Blender. Like, who wants to pay 18 fucking pounds for a sponge? Do you know what I mean? I do find as well that this shade Light is quite warm undertone, which for me adds a lot of brightness. I've tried concealers in the past, like the lightest shades, like in the range, and I just find that they never look flattering on me. They always just look dry. They emphasize like fine lines. So I feel like a good kind of warm yellowy toned concealer can actually be like super brightening, even if you're a cool tone kind of girl. Do you know what I mean? So okay, now that we've got the concealer on, we must set this face down. I mentioned I have been experiencing quite dry skin of late, so I have been trying to put as little powder on my face as possible, and as opposed to like setting my whole face with powder, I've been using a setting spray. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of powder just on the areas that I've put the concealer, just because I do not want creasing. Although saying that, this concealer is really, really good for, you know, not creasing too badly. Definitely say as well, if you've got more mature skin, definitely try out the Instant Age Rewind concealer, because I just think it's so flattering on more mature skin. You know, if you like me have always struggled to find a concealer that actually improves the look of your skin or your under eyes, then please try out the Maybelline one. Like, it's so good. I love the Conceal and Define by Makeup Revolution, but it's nowhere near as good as this little guy here. So he's fabulous. He wins my award for best concealer ever. Like, really, you should be really proud of yourself. I will buy you a mojito later. I won't. Like, I won't, but he thinks I am. I mean, really, guys. Okay, so next we're going to move on to the eyebrows. And my very favourite way to do my eyebrows is using an eyebrow promenade. For me, now that I've kind of got the hang of it, I feel like it's the easiest and quickest way just to get the kind of brow look that I want. At first, I found it like really tricky, and I would always end up with like a very intense, bold, you know, bollock breaking kind of situation. But now I feel like I know what to do, kind of. Not really, but kind of, you know. So my favourite brow promenade is by ABH, and it's the brow, it's a promenade. I mean, that's what it is. This is in the shade Taupe. I always go for the shade Taupe with eyebrow products because I find that brown can be a little bit too harsh for me, and blonde shades always are too warm for me, whereas Taupe is just like that perfect kind of cool toned shade, but it doesn't look too intense, although some people might disagree with that. So I'm going to be applying this with my favourite eyebrow brush, which is by BH Cosmetics, and it's the V10. It's got a spoolie on one end, which I bent, and it's got just like the angled brush bit on this end. I think it's really important to find yourself a really good brow brush if you are going to be using a promenade, because it just makes life so much easier, and it just helps you, you know, be precise and get the kind of shape you want. If there's one brush that you're going to need to wash like so regularly, it's the brow brush. Like, I don't actually wash it. I use a makeup wipe. This isn't a makeup wipe, this is a baby wipe. How did I ever like do anything before I had a baby and discovered baby wipes? Do you know what I mean? Because they're just handy for everything. I even clean my house with baby wipes sometimes, you know what I mean? Because they're just so handy. So I'm going to get a fresh one, not the one with my foundation on it. And I just kind of go like this. Oh, why is it not working? Yeah, I just kind of go like this, you know, on the wipe. It's really tough to do like at this angle, but I just do that kind of, you know, I'm sure that you know what to do, but I just give it a clean. I do this like every time I use it, just because I've realised that if you don't, it just makes your eyebrows look a mess. You have a nice clean brush. I also like it being a bit wet. Like, I just don't know why, but I just find that when it's a bit wet, it's better. So I just begin by brushing my brows through. I've literally neglected my brows so badly. I used to get them threaded and waxed, but I've not had anything done to them in like years at this point. I keep meaning to, but then I just can't be bothered, so I don't. So where's my mirror gone? Like, why am I always losing my mirror? Oh, here we go. I just start out in the middle. I know that a lot of people advise that you should start out like at the bottom, but I just find if I start at the middle there, it just seems to be easier and it helps me just get my shape. So I just dip in again. I be careful not to use too much of the product because it's very kind of pigmented and it's very creamy. So you could end up with like a super intense brow in milliseconds if you just get too much of it, of the product. So I just kind of go like that. And I just kind of, I work my way down to this bit, which is always the most terrifying bit, because I just find that I can never get it quite right, you know. But I love this product because it's so easy to work with. As you can see, it just took me like under a minute to just create this. I know it's not a masterpiece, like, you know, Van Gogh is not going to be quivering in his grave or anything, but it's just so easy to use. Whereas I find like with a brow pencil, I can be like just faffing about a little bit. Whereas with this, I just know what I'm doing. So yeah, this is definitely my favourite. I've tried a lot of other brow promenades. So, you know, I've tried like more affordable ones from Makeup Revolution and NYX. I just keep coming back to the ABH one. A, I really like this shade, but B, I just feel like it's the easiest to use somehow. But don't get me wrong, like if you're not wanting to spend, you know, over £20 on a brow product, then, you know, you can definitely pick up a really good promenade. Oh, I'm fucking this bit up. Look, see guys. Oh no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, you can definitely pick up like a really good one for not too much money, you know what I mean? Because this one is quite expensive, although it does last a good amount of time. So there we go, guys. There we go. Brows are done. Okay, so next we are going to move on to contour, and I'm kind of torn between two kind of contour powders here because I've got kind of two favourites recently. We've got the Hoola Bronzer by Benefit, the Wet n Wild contouring duo in the shade Dulce de Leche. So I love both of these equally. I'm going to show you what this one looks like by Wet n Wild just because it is the more affordable one, and I feel like Everyone's seen Hoola bronzer before. I mean, everyone's probably seen this one before, but this is a really good kind of cool toned bronzer. It's not got any warmth in it whatsoever. So if you're more of a fan of like warm tone bronzers, I don't think this one would be for you. As you can see, I've got fairly kind of fair skin, and this works a treat for me. As long as I don't apply too much of it, I can totally like get away with it. So if you've got fair skin like me and you're struggling to find a cool tone bronzer that isn't too much, I would definitely recommend you give this one a go. It also like blends out really, really kind of easily. I like to use this brush. It's by Unicorn Cosmetics, and it's really dirty. I mean, this is so dirty. You know, like earlier I was saying, if there's one brush you've got to wash, it's your eyebrow brush. I also should have added is that, you know, the brush that I wash least is my fecking contouring brush. Like, I feel so bad for this poor little guy. He does not deserve it. I actually don't contour every single day. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends on, you know, if I can be bothered. I didn't used to contour my forehead, but now I just think it's the best thing ever, because it just kind of gives your face a bit more kind of je ne sais quoi, which I really, really am all for. And I also like to contour around my jaw. Believe me, like, I've had a couple of faux pas where I've not properly blended this. There'll be a couple of videos out there, I'm sure, of me with like just a big blob of like, you know, brown on my face. But yeah, what can you do? I just find that this just like snatches your jawline right in, which is just great. Like, I'm loving that, loving it. Right, so I just go like this, and then as you can see, we've got a little bit of the contour going on here. By the way, I didn't really say, but for my contour, my cheeks, I just go like that, and then I'll go like that. There, like, just like that, guys. There is also a lighter powder in there, but I don't use that ever. Okay, so now, guys. Okay, next, my Red Bull's kicked in. Can you tell? It's kicked in, guys. She is wired, like, literally. Okay, so guys, next I'm going to show you my favorite kind of blush slash highlighter. This is by MAC, and it's one of their mineralized blushes. This is in the shade Just a Wisp. I wear this practically every single day. It's my perfect kind of cool toned sheeny pink. It's almost kind of purple. It's so cool toned. I just love it. Before I go in with this, I'm going to spray my setting spray, and this one is by Makeup Revolution, and it's called the Pro Fix Makeup Fixing Spray. My favorite is Fix Plus by MAC. I've just run out of that, and it's expensive, and I found that actually this one is really, really good, and it's doing the job really, really well. So the only thing that I prefer about the Fix Plus is that the spray is much gentler, whereas this one feels a little bit like an attack on your face. Oh yes, baby. Oh, also that one does smell a bit alcohol-y, whereas Fix Plus just has a like less offensive smell, you know. It doesn't feel like you're back at uni being sprayed in the face with a cocktail, do you know what I mean? Okay, so my favourite brush to apply the blush, oh my gosh, that was a mouthful, is this one from AliExpress by Gouge Houge. Super cheap, and it's just great. So, oh my gosh, guys, are you ready for this? So I just dip in. Are you ready, guys? Like, this is gorgeous. So you can use this as a blush or a highlight. I use it as both because it is sensational. Like, can you see that? You can just see that beautiful, like, oh, just icy pink there, you know, on the apple of my cheek. And then when I turn, the sheen just like follows you around. Oh, I just think this is so gorgeous. If you want like a really beautiful, cool toned, like icy pink, this is definitely going to be a product that you're going to absolutely adore. Like, if there's only one kind of blush and highlighter that I could keep, this will be it. I just think it's so gorgeous. It just never fails me. It just By the way, that is not me tromping in excitement for the blush. This is my stool. Oh, she's not doing it now, so it actually looks like I was trumping. Oh my gosh, like, really, guys, look. Come on, do the sound. It's not doing it, guys. Oh my gosh. Oh, I feel like I'm just practically humping my stool at this point. Look at this. Look at this. Oh gosh, it's so stunning. I just love it. I know that it looks like I've got a little bit more over on this side, doesn't it? So, okay, let's just even that out. Creepy blush face is back. Okay, so there we go. Right, so next we're going to move on to the eyes, which I should have set because they are creasing, and I think you're going to know what palette I'm going to be using here because it's one that I just can't stop mentioning. ZODIAC! Oh my gosh, she's great. She's pigmented. She's sexy as hell. She's a ZODIAC palette. I adore this. There was a little incident with this one in the middle, but I didn't really like that one, so yeah, that one can just go to hell for all I care. Look at this. Look at this. I'm sure you've seen it before. We've got baked kind of shimmers around the edge, and then you've got beautiful mattes in the middle. And gosh, guys, I just love it. The mattes are super easy to blend, pigmented. The baked shimmers are just sheeny, metallic, shiny, sexual. I mean, just fantastic. Just going to do a little bit of an eye look today so that you can see, and we're going to be doing like a pinky eye look. One thing that I feel like my stool is getting lower by the second. I just don't know what's going on. One of the reasons why I love this palette is that you've got a whole range of different shades in here. You've got like autumnal shades at the autumnal. What is it, guys? I was just going to let that one pass by, but I thought no. I mean, is it autumnal? Autumnal. But they're both the same. Okay, autumnal shades at the top. You've got beautiful cooler tone shades around here. And then you've just, yeah, that's like, there's lots going on. You've got blues, you've got greens, you've got duochromes, you've got pinks, you've got purple, you've got a fiery red. It's just divine, guys. I love the way that with this palette, you've got the mattes kind of correspond with the baked shimmers, so you know you can like easily see what your transitions would be to the baked eyeshadows. Not that there's a rule book with makeup, like you don't have to use a transition that's gonna be like there, like it's not like, you know, you have to say, okay, well, I'm using green today, so I can only use these 3 transitions. That helps me create a look in my mind, you know, prior to actually putting it on my eyes, if that makes sense. I just think it's a really well thought out palette. Okay, so to begin, I'm going to go into this beautiful pink shade. It's absolutely sensational. It's a very light shade, but it's actually got quite a lot of pigment to it. So, oh, I didn't set my eyelids, but it's fine. It's fine. Can you see that there, guys? I just think for such a light kind of pastel-y baby pink shade, it's got a lot of sass to it. Okay, so there we go. Next, I'm going to pop a little bit of this beautiful purple just below where I've put the pink. Oh, I wasn't actually planning on going for such a purple kind of look today, but here we are. I mean, why not? I'll just add a little bit more on there. Can you see how pigmented these eyeshadows are? Just absolutely gorgina. I'm going to just also pop a little bit of this purple just under my eyes. I'm just using what's left on the brush, so it's not too much, you know, because I went a little bit ham with the purple. I'm just going to go back in with a bit of the pink. Okay, so for the lid, I'm just going to be using my finger, and I'm going to be going into this shade here, which is a Leo. This is what she looks like. This kind of baked formula is just so beautiful. Can you see that? I think all shimmers should really be like a baked formula because it's just so beautiful. It's so forgiving, you know, if you've got more textured eyelids. So I just kind of pat that on with my fingers. Could it be any more straightforward. And just for some extra va-va-voom, I wet my finger and then I go back in and then just kind of go over that, wet the finger again, and back in. The only thing that I don't like about the palette is like how sometimes it can be quite difficult, you know, to get your finger in there. I know, such a first world problem, but look at my finger right now. Oh guys, I got totally distracted by how beautiful it was looking. Cannot do a favourites video and not mention the STILA Glitter and Glow. This is in the shade Smouldering Satin. This is my absolute, like, just favourite, like, liquid eyeshadow ever. I'm going to pop a little bit on now. I can't not mention this, so I'll just pop a little bit on. I've hardly got any left, so, you know, there's not much I have anyway, so I'm just going to pop that on just on top of the eyeshadow. I mean, like I said, you can barely see it because there is hardly anything left in here. Oh, it's so sad that I've come to the end of this. Guys, I'm struggling to actually get any out, but oh, this is beautiful. I've tried loads of different glitter and glows at this point. Smouldering Satin is by far the most breathtakingly beautiful of them all. What you're looking for is the ultimate in glittery, sparkly sensationalness upon your eyelids. Smouldering Satin is sensational. Okay, so guys, next we're going to move on to the eyeliner. Eyeliner is not something that I do every day, like with the concealer. I tend to just use eyeliner for when I'm filming or just on the odd day here or there, like, you know, when I'm feeling confident, because even though I feel like my wing skills have improved a little bit, it's still very hit or miss. So I could have a great wing one day and then the next day it could just be like awful. And you know, a lot of the time after I've done all of my makeup, I'm not willing to take the risk of it looking awful. So that's why I don't really tend to do it every single day. And also I don't think you need to have like a wing every single day. I've gone for what, 35 years really without wings in my life, and I've been quite fine. Okay, so as I've been practicing with lots of different eyeliners, I have definitely kind of decided that my favorite is the Tattoo Liner by Kat Von D. The reason why I like this one above all of the others is mostly down to the fact that it's very easy to apply and it lasts really, really well throughout the day. It's not very pigmented is like a negative against it, but I just like the fact that it stays put. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to waste time worrying about it. I also don't really like taking my eyeliner all the way in. If I do that, you can't really see my eyelashes as well. So I like to just take it just like halfway into my lid. I'm not really a fan of like the big black line. Look guys, this is where it all goes wrong. Over on this side, like every single time. Believe me guys, I have practiced and practiced and practiced perfecting the wing. Like I definitely have come like quite a long way. I used to be absolutely like terrible, and you know, I'm still not fantastic, but the practicing has definitely helped. If you want to improve how you do winged eyeliner, I would definitely just recommend in the evening when it comes to taking your makeup off, just have a go then, because it doesn't matter if you mess up. You can just kind of wipe off what you've done with a wipe and just have another go. And I just firmly believe that practice makes perfect. You probably still will feck up from time to time. Just gives you more confidence as well. You know, once you learn a bit of a technique, you know, as to how to do it. I definitely don't feel like I'm the person to be giving advice on, you know, winged eyeliner, because I'm not that good myself. But I just wanted to say, you know, practice. If you're not very good, practice and it will help. It will. Okay, so guys, you know exactly which mascara I'm going to be using today. Ta-ta-ta! The Lash Princess. So this has been my long-term lover in the mascara world. I just adore this. It cost £3.59, something like that. It's so affordable, and it's just beautiful. Whenever I use it, I'm just always blown away by how good my lashes look. I've gone through so many tubes of this. I'm going to keep buying it until I can't buy it anymore. But recently, there was a rumour going around that Lash Princess was being discontinued. And guys, I literally almost just walked out of the office and started a protest, because I was that shocked and upset. But apparently they're not discontinuing it. I mean, it would be such a joke if they did. I would just think it was the most ridiculous thing in the history of mascaras. If they did discontinue it, I'd probably just like get a loan from my bank and go and try and just like copy this exact same wand and formula and just make my own, called the Anwen Princess or the Vagina Princess. This mascara is definitely lengthening, it's definitely volumizing. I know that even now you can't see it so well because of the eyeliner, but look at that, guys. Look at that side boob view. I mean, really, just so good. It never lets me down. So many of my friends at work now use this because I've just kind of spread the word around to everybody. Guys, the best mascara in the world is the Lash Princess. Do you know what's annoying me right now? I had falsies on yesterday and I've still got a bit of the glow in the lashes, and it's just making like everything look so frecked up right now. So I do apologise about that, guys. How do you get eyelash glue out of your lashes when you've had falsies on? I don't know. Like, I really wish those magnetic lashes actually worked, because then I wouldn't even need to mess around with glue, you know. I always think like gluing in my lashes is never a good thing. Okay, so I've applied the mascara, and you know what's coming next. You know, fucking finger technique. Finger technique, gang. What am I doing? I don't know. Oh my gosh. Ba-bown. Guys, look at that. Can you see? Look at the length. Look at the curl. Look at the volume. Look at the sassiness. Look at the sensational. Look at the beautiful lashes. I feel like that should be an advert for Essence. Like, if you want to take this Essence and use this as a commercial for the Lash Princess, feel free, you know, just go for it. That's fine. You don't need to pay me. Just like, just go with it. It's okay. I understand. Right, so I'm just going to do the lower lashes. Engage mascara face. Someone's drilling outside and it's so annoying. Like, what are they even doing? Who is drilling? Like, I can't see anyone drilling, but I can hear it. Oh, holy vaginas. I mean, how would they like it if they were busy filming a video of all their favourite products and then some fecker was drilling outside? Well, oh God, I've got some on my up here. Oh no, what's it called up here? Is it just called the below your eyebrow zone? I don't know. Okay, so guys, there we go. And to finish off the video today, I am going to show you my favourite, most worn lip product of the moment. And this is by NYX. Like, I say of the moment because all of the other products I've been using for a longer time, whereas this is definitely the newest addition to the favourites gang. So this is the Slip Tease Lip Lacquer by NYX, and it's in the shade Undercover Babe. That's not me. Definitely not me. The reason why I like this is because the formula is so comfortable. It's got a beautiful kind of glossy like look to it that just makes your lips look juicy as hell. Love the wand. As you can see, it's kind of like an 8, so it's got like, it goes in the middle, and it's so easy to apply because you can go like this, and like that middle bit, it just like hooks around your lips, and then the little ball bit at the top, it makes it so easy just to get around your lips. Oh my gosh, I'm internally just finding that whole thing hilarious, like the ball going around your lips. But anyway guys, anyway, as you can see, this gloss is the most beautiful kind of nude. It's got like undertones of like beige to it, and I just love how it just makes my lips so glossy. Okay, so guys, that brings us to the end of my favorites. Get ready with me. I really hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope, like, I know this is going to be such a long video, but I hope that you enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed filming it, as I do with all of my videos, and I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch my video. I mean, that's just like so cool. So thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.